Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to this edition of Grassroots Racing Show.
Welcome to the Grassroots Racing Show. I'm Doug Thompson with co-host Roger Thompson. We're filming today at the Sentinel Building Studio at the Kansas Auto Racing Museum in Chapman, Kansas at the Auto Racing Complex. And Roger, Sentinel Buildings is, of course, a new sponsor for us this year, and we're on the third show of the 2013 season. And the racing hasn't started, of course, in our area. We're still fighting through some late winter weather, but it'll get started a little later in the year. And last week on television, of course, on our show, we had Mike Kraft and the film crew was at East Bay Raceway. Man, that was some fantastic racing.
It always is at Speed Weeks in Florida at East Bay. It's always great racing, no matter what the class.
Yeah, and you got to see that young man win, sweep the entire event. Whitney, I think it was, wasn't it?
Whitener.
Yeah,
Mark Whitener.
And man, he did a good job. That's
first time anybody's ever done that.
Yeah, and it's tough to do, to not only to sweep, but to keep your equipment going and not have any on-track incidences that take you out of that sort of a race. But
sure.
But he did. So congratulations to him. We're going to also later in this show we're going to be showing the Street Stock championship race that Mike Kraft covered for same place, East Bay Raceway at Tampa, Florida. And you know, we sent him out there for a while, but I didn't realize he'd be staying quite so long.
We won't recognize him the next time we see him.
No, he'll have a beard and I don't know, be all tan and be bragging
and Judy will have learned to quit walking in front of the camera, and who knows what all's going to happen to those guys.
I hope she doesn't learn that part of it. But also, we wanted to remind you that this year what we're doing is we're covering racetracks from across the state, from the east to the west. Lakeside Speedway will be giving us weekly reports, so will Heartland Park out of Topeka, and we'll drift down south to Warren Hardy, the voice of 81 Speedway, and he'll be sending in reports. And
he'll use up all the time.
Oh, he always does.
Warren takes 10 minutes to introduce himself.
And he does a good job.
And he's only got 2 words to his name.
Yeah, Warren and Hardy.
That's
it.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah. So we'll have him, and we're also going to have reports from Salina Speedway and RPM Speedway out of Hayes, which is a new track that's doing really well. You've been on that track, raced on it.
Yes.
And a beautiful facility
yes.
There at the fairgrounds, isn't it?
Those people support that track too. Yeah. I mean, big time. It's quite an experience. Anytime you're in western Kansas to race, it's always a great experience. I've always enjoyed it.
Yeah, yeah. And we'll have the Great American Racetrack from Jetmore. We'll be giving reports, and I anticipate we'll have some reports from Dodge City. And we want to get Sherman County Speedway out of Goodland be involved in the program. I know that's reaching quite a ways out, but so does our signal. We're on not only a number of networks, but also out of OKTV out of Enid, Oklahoma. And so our signal goes out quite a ways, and we're also on the internet. You can reach us at grassrootsracing.org. You can catch any of the shows because this is the third year. So our shows are archived on the system, and you can go to the website, view any of the earlier shows, and it's going to be a fun year this year.
Don't forget, on July 27th and 28th, we're going to be at Belleville for the Vintage Nationals.
And you have raced up there before. Last year, was it last year? 2 years ago, they had over 100?
103 cars. Colorado and Kansas organizations put on that. I think it was their first Nationals 2 years ago. And wow, what a group of cars. It was, and beautiful stuff. I mean, things you would see in museums. They were just amazing cars. And these guys raced them. That's what, it just fooled everybody in the crowd because they thought this was just going to be a putt-around deal. It wasn't.
No. I know those folks take a lot of pride in it. We had some of those folks appeared on one of our earlier shows, year one. And Lynn Anderson sticks in mind, and what a fantastic job he does in restoration work.
Oh, yeah, he's an amazing guy. And from up in that area, Kenny Tatro was there. He's got an old Walt McWhorter car that he's refinished and fixed up, and it never ran that fast for Walt, but Kenny's figured out some things and has done an excellent job with it. And of course Bob McCall was here, and he's got that new little car. I drive it. I can't even think now who made it, but a renowned fella.
Yeah, I should remember.
Gosh.
Oh, it'll come to me as we go through, or we'll take a break and think about it. Yeah. Speaking of off the air, and on the air, we've got a new show that's going to be coming out called Hey, Whatever Happened To, and each week is a new celebrity from Kansas, either born in Kansas or with a strong connection for Kansas. And like we've always bragged about, if we run out of all of those people, and I don't think we will because there's a lot of them, then we'll take people who have driven through, flown over.
Well, there's a lot of flyovers.
There are a lot of flyovers, so we have a lot of, almost an endless number of people. But our first show was on Vivian Vance out of Cherryville, Kansas, and we also, you did one on your former neighbor Dick Seitz.
Lieutenant General Richard J. Seitz. Yes, he did an excellent job, and that show was about an hour long.
And a little shout out to Dick right now, because he's going through suffered a fall here recently, didn't he?
2 days ago. I'm going to go up to see him this afternoon.
Yep, had a shoulder injury. We're going to take a break. We'll be back. You're watching the Grassroots Racing Show.
Welcome back to the Grassroots Racing Show. I'm your host, Roger Thompson, with co-host Doug Thompson. Not long ago, we were talking about these Vintage Nationals in Belleville that will be run this year again on the 27th and 28th of July. We were talking about Bob McCall's car, and we couldn't think of the builder of it. Well, this builder was, we figured it out during, after we went off the air, that it was Bob Trossel from Iowa. There's quite a story about this car. Bob and I found it up in Wyoming. And I told Bob at the time I thought it was a Trossel because I'd raced against him in the 70s. And Bob bought it and restored it, and Mark Brown over in Salina built a nice engine for him and put it in there. We raced it the first time at about 2 years ago at the first annual Belleville Vintage Nationals. The Colorado guys put it together, and that's where they had the 103 cars. What amazed me so much, and you see it every time we go racing, is when we were there, we needed shocks, we needed bars, we needed parts, we needed tires and wheels, and these guys all provided whatever they could for us until we got this car dialed in, and it really went fast. But how many times have you seen that happen at a racetrack where the guy you want to beat the most needs some help, and who gives him the help?
Yeah, you know, I've seen that a lot, especially on the Touring Series. We encountered it with NASCAR. Those guys knew when we pulled in with that big blue semi that we came from the middle of Kansas, and you can only tote so much stuff, even though we would take the big semi, and we had a chase van with us, and no matter what happened at the track, it was always a part you didn't have. And somebody there would come forward and say, hey, I see you need this, or I've got it. Or if you walked over to a total stranger and you said, you know, I'm looking for this, and if we don't have it, we're probably going to load, and it'd be easy for them and everybody to stonewall it and give the old, nope, don't have it, and you'd load and leave, and never have encountered that. Matter of fact, you know, my first NASCAR race, we went to Darlington, and the tire truck was there, the Goodyear tire truck, and people just swarmed over to the truck, bought the tires. Well, we were there. I wasn't going to wait in line. We weren't going to, you know, we were busy getting stuff unloaded, and the series director came by and he said, did you get your tires yet? And I said, no, I'll get some after bet, you know, when everybody gets away from the truck. And so when it was time, I went over to get tires for the event. And the guy said, oh, we're sold out. I said, really? Sold out of tires? You know, how's this work? So I had to go to the series director, and now he's the series director for the Nationwide series. And so anyway, I went to him and I said, I don't have any tires. And he took me by Mickey York, who was at that time out of North Carolina. Mickey was a veteran in the series. And went over there and I told Mickey I need some tires. And he said, all I got's enough for myself. And he said, probably the same here. You should have got your tires earlier. And I said, well, thanks, but I have no tires. And he said, what I do have is, he said, I have a set of, and this was funny, he said, I've got a set of autographed tires that came off of a different race, but they're the compound that's legal for this one. But he said, they're used. And I said, well, what do you want for them? He said, well, I'd sell them to fans for $50 a tire because it's got my signature. But he said, I'll sell them to you for $25 a tire. And so I bought 4 tires, 2 spares, and we went out. And, you know, that was a 150-lap event. And I passed Mickey about 3 laps from the end on those used tires.
But he felt real good.
Yeah, he was shaking his head when I went by. And we finished 7th that day and got Rookie of the Race because that was my first NASCAR race. And afterwards, Mickey and I had a really good laugh about it. I said, Mickey, if I could have had a better set of tires, I could have won this race. And I said, would you mind autographing them again for me, because I've rubbed them off. So we had a good time with it, but that was a pretty good indication of how the racers would help. And I think anytime when you see racers on a touring series when you're out of state or a long ways from home, and all of them are in that similar boat to where they're a long ways from home, when one has a problem, if any has a part that they can help, they'll do so.
I remember years ago that Don Morris was always very good about that. If you needed a part, that he'd give them to you. He never got them back, however, and that's because the parts usually weren't any good. I remember he had an auction one time and no one would buy anything. So the next time I saw him at the races, he was going around to each car and gave them a little piece of paper saying he had extra parts. So instead of having to take them and dispose of them, he managed to hand them out to everyone. And of course, most of the parts broke before the guys could finish a race.
Yeah.
And that really promoted his racing career.
Oh,
With having everyone in front of you break, it was very good.
The good part about our buddy Don Morris is those parts he was handing out, he had already borrowed from other people to begin with. I'm sure that's where I lost a lot of my parts.
That's true.
But here in just a little bit, we're going to go to East Bay Raceway for the 3rd annual World Street Stock Championship. And that's at, of course, Tampa, and that's part of the races that Mike Kraft and the film crew covered for us in Florida for Speed Week activities. And I think it's going to be really good racing. I'm excited to see it. Have you seen, of course, the progression of the street stock class over the years?
You know, I haven't. The street stock class started out looking like stock vehicles, and that's the way they've remained. And even though some of these guys go to races throughout the year that pay, I know of one, I think, down about in the southeast that pays $10,000 to win. And these cars look about the same, except they've changed their chassis and frames, but they have real bodies, and these guys get up and go now. They're not the old pull it out of the salvage yard and make it run. These are fast, real race cars, so they've done an excellent job with it.
They remind me a lot of in that evolution of the late models, that they have that appearance of the late models, and they're fun cars to work on, they're fun cars to drive, and I think the fans really love the street stock class, and it's a very popular, probably the most popular class across the nation, and certainly the most affordable, I would think.
The most affordable, and they're very competitive. It's not, I don't know how this is going to turn out, but it's going to be tough. I don't think one guy is going to win all the races.
No, I wouldn't think so, and I'm sure it's going to be excellent competition all the way through. So when we come back, you're going to be with us as we go to East Bay Raceway at Tampa, Florida, with Mike Kraft and the 3rd annual World Street Stock Championship. Stay tuned.
This is Scotty Anderson, and you're watching my favorite show, Grassroots Racing.
Finished second again, once again, and starts on the outside of row 5. That is the 42 of Dennis Wilson Jr. Won Thursday night's event from Salem, Indiana. They call him the Rocket Man. He's in the 00 this year. Let's give a big round of applause to Richie Stevens. And last year's champion, driver the number 44, comes to you all the way from Okeechobee, Florida, Tim Powers. From Archer, Florida, starting on the inside of row 4 in the number 17, that is Kevin Durden. Scotty K. Jr. will start in that 6th position from West Palm. He's in the 21. And Brian Hansford from Alpha, Florida, will start on the inside of row 3 in the number 2. On the outside, won last night's feature event, was the points leader going into tonight, locked into the A main, starting on the outside of row 2 in the number 9 from Okeechobee, Florida, Brian Morgan. Buck Woodhouse is in the number 55. He'll start on the inside of row 2 from Tampa, Florida. He's the defending 2012 East Bay Raceway Park Street Stock champion, won 7 features here last year. All the way from Zephyr Hills, let's give a big round of applause. And the number 18, Eric Moon. Looking for his very first feature win. It would be a great feat for him to win tonight. From Tampa, Florida, the other half of the Burnside brothers. And the number 13, your pole sitter, Thomas Burnside. That is your starting lineup for the 40-lap, $1,500 to win, 3rd annual World Street Stock Championship. Wesley.
Got Richie Stevens, one of the winners from the qualifying nights here at East Bay. Richie had a good run, I presume, that night, and you were telling me you're just second to go. You should have won last night, but didn't get it.
Yeah, we had a motor trouble, and we found out a lot this morning. It was spitting water out number 3 cylinder. We had to go to a backup motor that we borrowed from my buddy of mine, Calvin Cook. So we're hoping it'll hold together for these 40 laps to get us back home when we get our other motors.
Do you run down here to East Bay very much, or is this kind of a vacation deal, try everything out, get ready for the season deal?
We like this place, so we come down and just have a good time with some friends and stuff that we know from down here and hang out and have a good time, but it's been a lot of work this time.
Sometimes it can be. It takes all the fun out of it. But answer me this, what's it going to take to win the A main here in a little while?
Well, if the motor don't break, I don't see us having any trouble. We was 4/10 quicker than everybody so far, so if the motor will hold together and give us 40 laps here tonight, I believe we'll be sitting pretty good there at the end if we make the right tire call here.
Answer me this. Everybody loves a winner. Tell me who's making the chassis or homemade or whatever, and who's getting the power made for you there.
Rocket Man Race Cars. I build all the chassis, and Wendell Vinson supplied us the motors, and just a fluke accident. He builds a great motor, so we're hoping to get this Calvin Cook horsepower down onto the ground and go to the front right here.
There you go. If somebody wanted to get one of these chassis, then they need to get a hold of you there in Salem, Alabama, was it?
Yes, sir. Just contact me. 334-614-5461 is our shop number, and we'll get them headed in the right direction.
All right. I don't care where you live, and the more I talk to racers, the more I find out they buy stuff out of town because they don't want nobody in town knowing where they get it. So there you go. You can come to Alabama and get you one of these here Southern chassis, and this guy looks like he might be able to pull it out tonight, so let's keep an eye out for him. Have some good fun out there.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate you.
And I'm ready. Here we go.
Fun time in the city.
Burnside and Moon, side by side race fans. Here we go. 40 lap street stock feature event. Ronnie looks them over and we're underway.
Green flag in the air. World Street Stock Championship 3 is underway. 3 wide, almost 4 wide as they try to go out. Oh yeah, they're 4 wide. Somebody's got Cheech and Chong riding with them down into turn 1. They go down into turn number 3. It's stacked and decked. One wrong move and it's going to be costly. 4 wide for 3rd, 4th, 5th on back as they go to turn 1.
As you see, the number 2 got a little aerodynamic problem.
The pace up in turn 3.
Whitley's off the pace. Fitchett smoking. That's not good for the 2 of Hansford, as Hansford's going to take the lead, but not all for none, as caution comes out on lap number 1.
Caution out.
As Ronnie Whitley in that 84 from Zephyr Hills, Florida. Slows down. Here we go, and we're back underway. Hansford gets a good jump as he comes out of forward, leads the field down into turn 1. Kevin Durden going to hold on to second, but here comes the Rocket Man. Richie Stevens right on the back bumper of Durden. And it's Moon and Kate battling out for that 4th position. The Rocket Man goes to the outside, trying to get around Durden. Not going to be able to do it at the line. It's still Hansford.
The most intense racing so far I think I've seen in the World Street Stock Championship is right now in the final leg for $1,500 to win. More money on the line. Dollar signs on the brain, and the man out in front comes to the stripe. Car number 2 leading the way back into turn number 1. Brian Hansford, it's his race to lose. One car sideways, 69.
And 31 of Burnside, William Burnside, off the pace up there in turns 3 and 4. So another caution might be coming out here in just a second, as yes, a caution comes out on lap number 3. For the 31 of Williams Burnside, and in the meantime, Jared Giddy gets a little sideways there.
Caution out.
Trying to put on the brakes before you get the green flag. And of course, the 2011 champion up there, Calvin Cook as well. Calvin next to the defending street stock champion, Eric Moon. Some great cars out there right now. But all eyes on the flag stand. Rockin' Ronnie looks over the field. Here we go, race fans, and we're back underway. Lap 3. Hansford leading the way. Stevens, the Rocket Man, shoots like out of a cannon. It goes high. Oh, gets a little sideways. Oh, and the Rocket Man gets turned sideways. Durden, oh no! The Rocket Man goes towards the fence. Durden got spun around. Everybody went Wow, that could have been disastrous. Green flag, we're back underway. 4 laps in the book.
Back to the restart they go. Into turn number 2. Down the back straightaway, the 2 car is out in front. That's going to be the machine leading the charge as they come back to the stripe. Put another lap on the board. We got one machine. Williams getting a little sideways. Brian Hansford out in front. Jeff Rogers getting with contact with a 35 of Gray as they go down into turn number 1.
Your leader, Brian Hansford, in through 3, now into 4. Coming out of 4 onto the front stretch.
And I understand the 00.
Oh, we got problems over there in turn number 2.
Oh, no. 35 Gray is involved in a 35 car. No, it's
the
12
69 of Harrison and the 21A of Eugene Anderson.
Yeah.
Terry Jones back out onto the track. So lap 5 will bring out the 5th caution.
And I understand.
Here at East Bay Raceway Park.
Great parting gifts.
All right, single file. Ronnie looks over the field as the field is in turn 4 and we're back underway. Your lap number 5, restart. Your field going through into turn 1 as Durden looks to the inside of Brian Hansford. Bo Slade gets into the top 5 as he goes to the inside of Buck Woodhouse. And Hoball and Grissom getting a little tangled up. Here comes Jared Gate to the outside. 3 wide as they go through turn number 1, and 3 wide still. Hoball on the outside, Gate inside, Gate on the outside, and Grissom. Now Grissom gets through there once again. 3 wide once again. Jared Gate backs off. It's still all Brian Hansford down the backstretch.
7 laps in. Here comes the leaders out of turn 4. Brian Hansford, he's out in front. Kevin Durden second. Scotty K Jr. third. Eric Moon is fourth. Eric Moon now trying to hold off Bo Slade, who's in 5th. As they go down the back straightaway.
Also want to give a big shout out to Alify Marine. They put up an extra $100 to the 7th place finisher here at East Bay Raceway Park for the Street Stock. So a big shout out to Beagle and the gang at Alify Marine as they put up an extra $100.
Brian Stevens coming hard through the field.
Finisher.
Brian Stevens is coming.
Richie Stevens now to the inside of Buck. Oh, and Jared
Not
Gay.
anymore, not anymore.
Wow.
Wow.
Are you kidding me?
Every time we say something about a driver doing something great, it seems like they have a disaster. Caution's out again. We were just talking about the 00. Well, I was. And I jinxed it. Richie Stevens, the 00, coming back through the field. I was saying that he was rallying inside the top 10, Russ Calabrese, and he could have contended for victory.
He's still got a chance. We still got a long ways to go. Still 30 laps remaining.
We started 26 cars. How many cars are left?
Haven't counted yet. And of course, the final weekend, the Kano 360's 12th annual Ronald Laney Memorial, along with the Florida Mini Sprints. Here we go. Green flag back underway. Hansford leads the field into turn 1, followed by Durden, Moon, Slay, and Woodhouse. Those are your top 5. In 6th is going to be Hoball. 7th, Grissom, as now Hoball and Grissom get ready to battle out. Dennis Williams, Rogers, and Roy Woodhouse. So as we get another lap clicked off here, 11 in. Here comes Durden. Oh, we got problems once again for the 69 machine. The 69 of Harrison once again spins around, puts himself in the spin cycle.
I have to do it, I'm sorry. Ready to come for the race start. Rockin' Ronnie on the starter stand, ready to juke and jive. We're back to it again.
Of course, the defending Street Stock champion, Eric Moon, now up into that 3rd position. Bo Slade battling with him side by side as they go through turns 1 and 2. Moon to the high side, Slade to the inside. Moon with the slight advantage as they go into turn 3. Slade now back to 4th. Buck Woodhouse in 5th. Matthew Grissom is going to be 6th. Stephen Hoball 7th. Williams 8th, Rogers 9th, and of course the Rocket Man back up into that 10th position. Battle now for the lead, not gonna do it. And
3 wide, Jeff
holds on
Rogers.
to it.
Wow. Jeff Rogers is under attack. Here comes the 00. Richie Stevens one more time, trying to get to the front.
Durden still on the back bumper, looks to the inside once again. Brian Hansford not able to make the move stick, so he'll fall behind him once again. Your front two starting to pull away from third place runner Eric Boone. Bo Slay still hanging on to fourth. Oh, they're 2 wide by 2 wide as they go through turn 4. Good battle right there in the middle of the pack. Again, 2 wide and 2 wide.
3 wide. 3 wide off of turn 2. Richie Stevens jumps up on the left front of the car. That's in the middle playing. Oh, here we go. Stevens down to the bottom of the racetrack. It was Matthew Grissom that was used as a pick. 3 wide again out of turn number 4.
Stevens up to 6, got past 2 cars. Oh, we got a change for the lead. Kevin Durden. Hansford got a little bit sideways. Durden went to the inside. Durden, your new leader on lap 16. Whoa, and some damage there to Durden, but on lap 16, Durden takes over the lead.
And I am assuming,
oh, we got problems with the 21A as he slowed down.
with this victory, with this
And it
win,
looks like some smoke coming from the rear end of the 72 of Slay.
yeah.
But right now, it's Kevin Durden running 2 different cars. Oh, 3 wide on the front stretch. And it looks like the rear end is broke on the 72.
Definitely has locked up the rear end. He's having trouble negotiating off the
high.
corner.
If you look, oh, we got problems over there in 2.
Jeff Rogers gets
As they
into
keep
it,
going,
and we're still green.
watch the number 72. Oh, and it's going to break now. There it is. Finally broke. The 72 of Slade finally broke that rear end.
Ready to come for the restart. We got 23 laps to go in this one. Rockin' Ronnie. He's still juking and jiving on the flag stand. We're back to full song.
Watch that 00. Richie Stevens as now he goes around the outside of Eric Moon. Durden still leading. There goes Stevens right by Moon into 3rd. Here comes Stevens making a charge. Durden still your leader at the line. 18 in, 22 to go. 22 to go. Durden leading. Hansford, Stevens, Moon, and Hoball. Hoball with a good run tonight. Oh, and he gets into the back of Eric Moon. Side by side, Steven and Hansford. Stevens now moves up to 2nd. Stevens to the outside, looking to get around Durden at the stripe. It's going to be close. They'll give that one to Durden, I believe. 0.013 separate him. There he goes down the backstretch. Stevens to the outside, Durden to the inside. Through turns 3 and 4, here comes the Rocket Man. And problems over in turn 4, all for none as Stevens was about to take away the lead. Roy Woodhouse spins over in 2, brings out the caution.
The caulking's coming loose after you smack the table.
Wow. Stevens.
You don't believe me? Look.
Stevens is coming from nowhere, coming from the back after getting spun out, spins over there, almost hits turn 2 gate, gets in trouble with the 35. Now, just shy of taking the lead away from Durden. So I believe it's going to be 20.
I was going to say, you've been taking lessons from Todd. Oh, man.
So lap 20, caution.
So we are officially halfway now, race fans. We are halfway.
Caution
20 down and 20 to go.
55R.
We're in the second half of the race.
Won a couple of street stock features here last year, and of course the open wheel modified. He won a feature last year here as well. Sits dejected, stands dejected. Green flag once again. Here we go. Durden, Ken Stevens get around him this time. We're back underway. Stevens to the high side. Durden to the low side. Here comes Stevens. Stevens to the outside once again. Down the backstretch they go into turn 3. Stevens to the high side. Durden still trying to hang on the low side. Will he get by him at the stripe? Stevens, your new leader on lap 21.
Lap 21, Stevens back out to the front. He has rallied from the rear to contest for almost $2,000 if he wins. $500 he won in night 1. Now will he win the $1,500? He's out in front. Lady Luck B with the 00 as it's coming down to the wire in the second half. They're back in turn 2.
They're slamming and banging. Several positions back. Moon, Gay, and Grissom. Oh, and the 7 of Grissom goes around and collects them. Grissom able to hang.
Serious?
Grissom able to hang.
Oh, we got a spinner. 55's looped and he's in the gas. Look out, the leader's coming.
Here comes Stevens.
Boy, that was close.
Woodhouse go to the inside. Wow, they're slamming and banging all around with just 17 laps to go. Ken Stevens, hold on. Ken the Rocket Man pick up his very first Winter Nationals Championship. He won a race last year in the 69. Kenny completed with a new car this year. Right on the back bumper. Goes to the inside of Woodhouse. Woodhouse going a lap down.
Stevens is not backing off on his lead lap machines either. Look at the way he's driving on lead lap cars.
He ain't taking it easy. He wants that win. Had to put a brand new horse motor in there today. After breaking last night, winning Thursday night's feature event, broke last night. Now looking to pick up 3 times the payday and become the,
got a problem. Turn 1, cars off the pace.
The defending champion for the world for the street stocks, Eric Moon, off the pace. That's Eric Moon.
And caution's out.
Caution come out on lap 26.
Yellow flag out again. For what number?
I believe this is 9 or 10.
Not that bad yet.
Dennis Williams up into that 4th position. And of course, Jared Gay had a good solid finish last night. Here we go. Ronnie throws a green flag. We're back underway. 26 in, 14 to go. The Rocket Man leads them into turns 1 and 2. Hansford. There goes Williams and Gay battling for that 4th and 5th position. Jared now up to 4th. Jared, no stranger to victory lane here as well. Hansford, a little bit of cosmetic damage to the right rear. As Gay looking to get around him. And Jared makes the move and the pass. And Jared now up into that 3rd position.
And down the front stretch, shall come to the line. It will be less than 12 laps to go. As the man out in front is Richie Stevens.
Here comes Dennis Williams. Williams now up to 4th as he gets around Hansford.
And he's earned it. Stevens out in front. Durden in 2nd. 3rd is the 35, Jared Gay. His car is beaten, bashed, and mangled, and he's in 3rd.
He started towards the rear last night, finished 3rd last night.
It's the Grassroots Championship show right here.
Jared Gay started on the inside of row 13.
Pace, turn 2.
Matthew Grissom. Jared Gay started on the inside of row 13, up to 3rd right now.
Wow.
There goes Williams. Williams to the inside. There's a 2 battle door handle to door handle. And it's a 7 off the pace, and you got the 14 spinning over in turn number 2. Keeps on going. Grissom slows it down. And caution coming out with just 10 laps remaining. 10 laps remaining. Grissom slows down over in turn 2. And he has a right front flat. Lights, 31 down, 9 to go. Green flag once again in the air. Stevens leads him into turn 1. Durden holding on to 2nd. Jared Gay, gets a little sideways, loses it. Here comes Dennis Williams. Dennis Williams got in a bad accident last night. got that car back. He said his crew, he had to work all day today. His crew got it back. Looks like they got it back and race ready. As now Dennis Williams up into third, still battling with Jared Gay. Meanwhile, your leader makes his way down the backstretch. The Rocket Man trying to hold off Kevin Durden and Dennis Williams, Gay, and Hansford. Stephen Hoball up to 6th, Ryder 7th, Powell is going to be 8th, Woodhouse 9th, and of course, the 13 of Thomas Burnside holds on to that top 10. And his brother William Burnside is in 11th, followed by Ronnie Whitley and Roy Woodhouse. Yeah, check it. Next time by, 5 laps to go. Next time by, 5 laps to go. Ken Stevens hold on right now. The Rocket Man out of turn 4 gets the 5 to go sign from starter Ronnie Lucock. He heads into turn number 1. Durden still into 2nd. Williams still 3rd. Jared Gay 4th, and Brian Hansford is in that 5th position. 4 laps remain. 4 laps remain. Oh, and we got a caution. Problems over in turns 3 and 4 as Roy Woodhouse, the Burnside boys, looks like William Burnside and Thomas Burnside all tangled up over there. Looks like the 55R of Roy Woodhouse able to get away. And it looks like some damage there to the 13. Started 9th, now leads the field with just 4 laps remaining. Here we go, green flag once again in the air. Dennis Williams up to that 3rd position now, as he got by Jared Gay as they were battling side by side. 3 laps remaining. Remain for Richie Stevens this time by. 2 to go, race fans, 2 to go. As the Rocket Man goes through turns 1, now into 2 as he heads down the backstretch, holding off Kevin Durden, Dennis Williams, Jared Gay, and Brian Hansford, your top 5. Here we go, race fans, one more time around. White flag, can he do it? White flag one more time around for the Rocket Man. Richie Stevens out of turn 2, now down the backstretch. Williams slows down as he battles with Gay for that 3rd position. Those 2 battle. Williams up. Here he comes. Race fans on your feet. Richie Stevens wins it. Jared Gay will pick up 2nd. Hansford will go 3rd. Williams 4th, and it looks like Hoball will come back with a top 5. There you have it, race fans. The man all the way from Salem, Alabama. Let's give a big round of applause as he comes to victory lane, the Rocket Man, Richie Stevens.
How about it, race fans? The car damaged, mangled, but he gets it done in victory lane. 00, Richie Stevens, winner.
Round of applause for the Rocket Man from Salem, Alabama, Richie Stevens. Man, I'll tell you what, you won Thursday night, almost won it last year, broke last night, and as you were saying, you changed motors today. You have had one heck of a day today. You are a hero, definitely tonight. Ladies and gentlemen, let's give one more big round of applause. He is your 3rd annual World Street Stock Champion, all the way from Salem, Alabama, the Rocket Man, Richie Stevens.
got the winner of the Street Stock A Main here tonight, Richie Stevens. Richie, what I like is a man that knows what he's got and what he can do with it. And just like with that interview that we did before the race, you said, I can win this thing, and you went out there and done it. Yeah, we had real good luck tonight. I mean, we had a guy give us a motor, Calvin, to even race because we broke. And went down there, made it up to second, and jumped the cushion, spun out like a fool in front of everybody, and had to go to the back. And I made it back up to fifth, and then the guy spun me out, and you had to go to the back. So went back again to 22nd, and come back and won this thing. Got real lucky, man. A lot of people, good Lord, looking after it for sure.